once again, everybody. Welcome to another, it's going to be a knockout edition of Pick Your Politics. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers, and I'm excited. Why am I excited? I'm excited because we had a great guest on the show today again. I'm excited because the general is coming up before you know it, so we're going to be done. We're going to be down to business. Everybody's going to be in office, or they're not going to be in office. And of course, today's show is going to concentrate on a young lady that is one of the two mayoral candidates for the great city of Las Vegas. Very, very important race. Why? Because we got to have a mayor, number one. Number two, Las Vegas is so unique, as you know, it takes a special kind of person to oversee what's going on in this city. So I'm excited to see how things are going to come out, see what's in the future, see who gets elected, see who's going to be up in Carson City, in the legislature. And the most important thing, though, as I keep saying every show, you may not agree 100% with the candidates, but you've got to vet them, because I know that you're going to like stuff about them, about their philosophy on certain issues that are important to you, and you got to get out and vote, okay? You could sit there and complain all day long, but if you sit on the couch and you don't do a damn thing about it, you got to get out there and vote. So there you go. Anyway, let me tell you about our special guest today. I think making her second appearance on the show.
Third appearance, Dennis.
Yeah. Shelley Berkley currently is the Democratic candidate.
No, this is a nonpartisan race.
Oh, it's a nonpartisan race.
Yes.
Forget that. She's a candidate, okay, for the mayor of Las Vegas. Shelley comes into this race with a ton, and I'm telling you, a ton of political experience. She served as the U.S. representative for Nevada's 1st Congressional District from 1991 to 2013. She was also a member of the Nevada Assembly from 1982 to 1984. In 2014, Shelley was hired as the CEO and senior provost of Touro College and University System in Nevada and in California. She left that position in 2003, declaring her candidacy for the upcoming mayoral race. Shelley graduated with honors in 1972 with a BA in political science and obtaining her JD degree at San Diego University School of Law. And quite a great educational background.
Well, thank you very much.
Really, that's impressive. Oh, by the way, Shelley's an attorney. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mother. She's a wife. She's a businesswoman. So would you say she's kind of busy? Yeah. But you handle it really well.
Thank you, Dennis. I've been around a long time.
Yeah, you handle it.
As have you.
You handle it really, really well. All right, let's get into it. As you know, and you've talked about this in debates and appearances, several issues have risen to the top of people's concerns, like homelessness, like public safety, like budgetary issues for the city, and attracting new businesses here, and education, of course. Do you have one particular area or concern that people have here that you would tackle right off the bat once you get into office?
Yes, and everything you've just mentioned, public safety, homelessness, affordable housing, economic growth and development, all very important for the future of the city of Las Vegas. But none of this is going to matter until and unless we can settle the Badlands issue.
Yeah.
And you know what that is. 9 years ago, so this has been going on for a while, there was a developer in town who bought the Badlands Golf Course
Right.
and wanted to build mixed-use housing,
Right.
Which was compatible with that area. The land was zoned residential. The developer purchased the land knowing it was zoned residential and has planned to build residential housing. The Planning Commission gave unanimous approval of the project, and because of pure political reasons, the city council blocked it. What they didn't take into account is that the developer was not going to fold. He knew he was in the right. He knew this had been an illegal taking, and he fought the city. We've now had 5 different lawsuits. The city has lost each one.
Yeah.
And the liability that the city put itself into could be close to $500 million.
Ouch.
A total ouch. And you know what that means? The residents of the city of Las Vegas are on the hook for
on the
this.
hook.
And so I am being left, should I be lucky enough to win this election, with a very serious dilemma that not only could impact the budget and the services that the city of Las Vegas provides and that people expect from their municipal government, but we may be suffering from this for years to come. And so and if you have an opportunity, I know I'm a lawyer by profession, but I read the Supreme Court decision, which was, I never read a decision like that, Dennis. It was damning against the city, and they are still foolishly fighting this.
Yeah.
It is not getting easier, it's not getting less expensive, and it's time we come to sit down and negotiate in good faith with the developer and get this off the table.
Yeah. Get it done.
Every day, Dennis,
It's-
let me mention this, which is just a real shocker. Every day, because of the decisions in the courts, the city is paying $20,000 a day in interest payments.
Wow.
Now, we certainly must have something better to do with $20,000 a day than pay interest on these decisions.
You kind of brought me to my next question, Shelley. Not pointing fingers, but does the city council move at a slower pace than you'd like to see? And what would you do as the mayor to alleviate that? And second question is, as a follow-up, why do you think some of the city council members were so damn stubborn in this, knowing that it's costing the city a hell of a lot of money?
Well, we have to remember that most of the city council people that are now serving were not there 9 years ago and had nothing to do with that, and have continued, I don't know, by bad advice or bad legal, I have no idea. But whatever it is, they haven't come to yes. You need 4 votes on the city council, that includes the mayor, in order to get anything done. What I think I bring to the table, in addition to my experience and my knowledge, is an ability to work with people. I've been endorsed by all of the members of the city council, which is very gratifying to me, because, as you know, my opponent is a sitting member of the city council, yet her colleagues have all endorsed me, which indicates that they cannot and do not want to work with her, but they're very excited excited to work with me.
It's very telling, very
I
telling.
think so too. And I just received this last week, Cedric Creer, who you know is a sitting city councilman and ran for mayor,
Right.
came in third. He just lent his support and endorsement to me. So that was very big. I
Yeah.
appreciated that. But you have to count to 4, and I think I've got the ability to sit down with my colleagues. What will it take to get
Yeah.
to yes?
Yeah.
And once we get to yes, then we move forward.
You got to cut your losses and, and follow the mayor's advice. How would you, as mayor, incentivize new businesses to come to Las Vegas, number one? And what type of business would you like to see come and open up their doors here?
Well, I'm loving the revitalization of downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That we've got some amazing developers that most have grown up in Las Vegas. They are reimagining downtown Las Vegas. There's such an incredible vibrancy on Main Street and Commerce Street, and you're seeing mom and pops pop up all the time. A number of breweries, a number of great restaurants. I mean, just on Main Street alone, there 1228 South Main, Good Pie, Esther's Kitchen, Main Street Provisions. I mean, and
So
so
you're
many
making the
more.
restaurant rounds, huh?
You bet I am. You bet I am. Because if anyone loves to eat, it's me. But they have that. You've got little boutiques. You've got clothing stores. It is just amazing what's going on down there. And I know these developers pretty well because I went to most of their bar mitzvahs. And so here they are. They were children back then. Now here
Oh,
they
my gosh.
are creating the
Yeah.
most extraordinary urban core. And I'm very excited to work with them. Many of them, when I sit down with them, and I've known them and their families forever, and I go, what, if I become mayor, what can I do to make things better for you? They go, leave us alone, let us do our thing.
Right.
We work well with the city, we work well with planning, the planning department, the licensing department, the permitting department. Just let us do our thing. Now, what we need to do is make this downtown Las Vegas more conducive to getting tourists there. There's a lot of, as you know, the homeless situation is getting worse by
Yeah.
the minute.
Yep.
That I get constant calls from businesses saying, look, my life savings is invested in this business. My customers can't get in the front
Yep.
door because, the homeless are camping out. Now, believe me, and you know me well enough to know that breaks my heart. This is a serious humanitarian problem. Nobody
do.
should be living on the streets.
No.
And if not for the grace of God go I mean, my life could have turned out a completely different way.
Sure.
And I'm very lucky. But a lot of people turn the other way. But, can't afford housing,
Right.
have serious setbacks, a lot of mental health challenges, and addiction challenges.
Yeah.
And once you go down that path, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
But it's also an economic issue. These businesses need to thrive if the city of Las Vegas is going to thrive. So that's why I'm committed to getting people off the streets and self-sustaining. And then you have your large businesses. I won't mention which large hotel, but they were telling me that they had a McDonald's attached to the hotel. You could get into the McDonald's from inside the hotel or outside. And they ended up closing down the McDonald's, which was wildly successful because of not being able to control the homeless issue. And that's we
terrible.
can't do that. I mean,
No.
this is a tourist town. We make our living.
Absolutely.
People work to support their families, and they
Yeah.
need to be able to do that. Another thing which concerns me is the I had a girlfriend. You would know the name. She took her grandchildren downtown to see, the downtown, Main Street experience and all of that, a Fremont Street experience. And she called up, she said, I will never go back down there. She goes, all the solicitations, all the people that were stopping us saying, $5 for a picture and intimidating them.
Yeah.
And that is unacceptable as well.
Yeah, it's, we want people to come here, but more importantly, too, we want people to come back, so they shouldn't have to be burdened with this stuff. And it is a problem. There's no
Much as I
doubt
love
about it.
And it's a great, what's happening now in downtown Summerlin, downtown Las
Yeah,
Vegas,
yeah.
amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
it is amazing.
But we need to clean things up a little bit.
It is amazing. Both candidates in this race have worked hard, very hard, getting endorsements. Does one or two stand out for you, Shelley, over and above the rest as far as endorsements? Because I know you've gotten some fabulous
Yes.
endorsements from some very, very large groups. And not to take away any importance on any of them, but does one or two give you more gratification, more satisfaction in getting that endorsement?
I have to say I have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of support throughout the community. The ones that I, of course, appreciate the most, the city council members who work with my opponent, and yet they're supporting me. Majority of the county commissioners, and I believe that we need to foster better relations with our counterparts in the county. People don't recognize jurisdictional lines. They want help. And I think we could be working a little more cooperatively. And of course, I know all of them very, very well from having worked with them for so many years. So I think that's a very good thing. But the teachers, the unions, there isn't a union that didn't endorse me. The veterans, the Asian community, Latin Chamber of Commerce, and the two newspapers, the Las Vegas Sun and the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
That's
so
excellent.
those are just the tip of the iceberg. There were so many groups that
You got a
just
lot.
stepped up.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
that
great.
that makes me very happy. Because
That's-
it makes, what it does, Dennis? It confirms the fact that throughout the years, and I was in office for 30 years, that people not only feel comfortable with me, they know I get the job done, and that I care about this community. And for all of those reasons, I'm very grateful to everybody.
And they're grateful to you for the work that you have done. Shelley Berkley is our special guest, who is a mayoral candidate and the mayoral race for the city of Las Vegas is our guest here on Pick Your Politics. Would you like to see the city council have more or expanded authority when it comes to city matters?
Oh, that's a very good question. And as you know, Dennis, this is a city manager form of government.
Yeah.
It is, for all intents and purposes, a relatively weak mayor. And you hire your city manager,
Right.
and the city manager runs the city.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what I have seen over the years, and look, when we first came to town, Orrin Gregson was the mayor, and I've known every mayor since. But once Jan Jones came in, it kind of excited the community, and she became the face of the city of Las Vegas, and infusing a little glamour into the job. And then, of course, Oscar took it to the next level, and he used the mayor's position at a bully pulpit. So while he may not have had the actual power, just by virtue of the strength of his personality, he was able to get things accomplished, because he had the community on his side. And so
Definitely.
while it's a city manager form of government, I think I have a very strong personality, and not only will do what the job entails, but use my position as a bully pulpit
Yeah.
to talk about issues that may not necessarily fall into the responsibility of the mayor, but are very important. Better transportation options, better housing, better education. If we want to, this city is going to explode in the next decade because we've got jobs, we've got excitement, and
Yeah.
people are going to be pouring in.
Yep.
They're going to come for the same reason that my father stayed when we passed through Las Vegas 60 some odd years ago, because there was a job here that he could get.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think you know my background. Neither one of my parents graduated high school.
No.
So my dad was a waiter when I was growing up, but on a waiter salary, because of the strong economy in Las Vegas, he put a roof over our head, food on the table, clothes on our back, 2 daughters through college and me through law school. Not bad for a waiter.
Not bad at
And
all.
that is still going on in this town.
Not bad at all. That is for sure. How hard was it, Shelley, to negotiate with the BLM to get the land you needed to build the VA hospital? Because that obviously is a great milestone in one of many in your career. And so many veterans here are so thankful to you for that. How hard was it, though, to get that going?
Well, it was the accomplishment I'm most proud of. It was quite a task, but this started, I set up, when I first got to Congress, I set up a number of advisory committees. Advisory committees. One of them was my Veterans Advisory Committee. At one of the first meetings, the lady vets that were part of the group came over to me and said they needed a mammogram. That's when all we had was the Adelaide Del Guy Clinic. If you were sick, you had or needed medical care, you had to go to Long Beach. And we had well over 200,000 veterans that called Southern Nevada home. No hospital here. So it started out with a mammogram machine that I was able to get for the lady vets at the Adelaide Del Guy VA clinic. And from that, we did a big ribbon cutting, and I made a joke. I said, next time we're going to get an MRI machine, and everybody clapped. Somebody came over to me after the press conference. They said, you got to think bigger. I said, bigger than an MRI machine? It takes up half the clinic.
Yeah.
They said, we need a hospital here. You got 200,000 veterans, and we don't have a place to go. And all of a sudden, I started thinking, how do I get a VA hospital here? As it turned out, I served on the Veterans Affairs Committee in Congress, started working, and in those days, it was a Republican president, a Republican VA secretary, a Republican House, and a Republican Senate. And yet, we were able to talk about our needs and get them funded. But we started looking at places that we could do this. My ideal location was in downtown Las Vegas on the 60 acres that had been previously owned by the Union Pacific Railroad. But when the EPA came out and examined the soil, they said they would not fund it because the soil was contaminated.
Oh, interesting.
And it would cost too much.
Interesting.
So my number one place was off the table. And I brought the VA secretary here, and Oscar, who was mayor at the time, and the VA secretary and I walked the location. And there are certain things you have, bus access, all of those other things. And so we started looking, where are we going to do this? And one of my staff members suggested that we work with the BLM and get the land transferred to the VA. It was not easy easy, but it was doable.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And so it was located, it's in North Las Vegas, right off of 215 in Pecos.
Can't miss it.
No, you can't miss it. It is a state-of-the-art facility that is serving the veterans, not only in Southern Nevada, but we are attracting veterans from other parts of the country because of the care
Right,
that they
right.
receive at that hospital. So it was a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's a fabulous, fabulous facility. Why do you think, though, Shelley, that I'm trying to phrase this in a way that years back, it seems that veterans were kind of put on the back shelf as far as recognition, as far as care, as far as groups trying to raise money for them. And as of late, 5, 6, 7 years, they've really come to the forefront. What do you think started that?
I think the challenge started during Vietnam because it was such an unpopular war. I was in college at the time, and just the anger, and when our troops came home, they were not greeted well and not appreciated for what they went through.
Right.
And I think that was a very unfortunate, but that is true. I think nowadays there's a greater appreciation, but I think I could say this without fear of contradiction, when our fighting men and women come home and re-enter civilian life, we do not do a good job as a country making sure that their PTSD is under control, that they get the job. Imagine this, you're leading men into combat, and you're in charge in very harsh environments, Iraq, Afghanistan. You come home after that experience and seeing your fellow servicemen, some wounded, some mortally, and coming home, and your wife expects you to throw out the garbage. And what? Throw out the garbage? I was just leading men in battle and women. And consequently, I think it's a hard transition, and we have never done well helping people transition in. It's like, welcome home. We're so happy you're here. Now go about your life.
Right.
Not so easy to do.
Especially the ones that unfortunately are disabled, and one way or the other,
There is a price to pay for war.
it's just not a great situation at all. All right, you're in office, you're downtown in the mayoral office after you've had a chance to redecorate. What are you going to do in the first 2 weeks?
Settle Badlands. That's number one. That everything else depends on that. We don't even know how much money we're going to have. What
my
services
God.
we are going to have to cut, if we have to. I mean, they're talking about selling off land. I don't want to sell off an asset of the cities.
No.
Sell off a taxpayer's assets, and that's why it's so important to get this done. Then we must tackle homelessness. I want people off the streets. Right now, there's a more team that goes and sees how people are doing, offers them services. The courtyard that is supposed to be comprehensively caring for our homeless. Look, everybody that's in the homeless business, for lack of a better word, they're doing God's work. I don't criticize them for that, but it has to be effective. The city is spending a fortune, and people would rather stay on the street than go to the courtyard for help. Now, what is that, and why is that? Let's get to the bottom of it and what we have to do to get people
Turn it
off.
around.
You can't. I don't want to criminalize this. I mean, throwing somebody in jail that's homeless does absolutely nothing. Other than that's geography. Instead of sleeping on the street, they're sleeping in the jail. What we need to do is get them into programs as quickly as possible and get them off the streets.
100%. All right, last question before I let you go, because I know you're busy out campaigning.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And education. what can we do about, everybody that lives here knows the stuff we've been going through with the Clark County School District. They're short of funds.
Yeah.
We don't have enough teachers. They're closing schools. They're letting positions go away. What do we need to do? We need a superintendent.
Yeah, we do need a superintendent.
What do we need to do to get the darn thing fixed? Because it's so important.
Yes. Look, the education I received in the Clark County School District, and I am a product of the Clark County School District, was wonderful for the life I'm leading. It's obsolete for the life our grandchildren are going to be
Yeah,
leading.
yeah.
But if you consistently fund our education system, 49th in the United States, and expect a better result,
not
well,
good.
you're kidding yourself. And so we talk about education all the time, especially during election year. There isn't a candidate that's going to tell you that is not going to say they want to improve education. But it takes resources, it takes funding,
Yeah.
and we need to do a much better job. But look, there is the Clark County School Board. They are independently elected. Elect people that you have confidence in that can do the job.
Yeah.
And then they need to hire a good superintendent that's going to lead one of the largest school districts in the United States. And as a matter of fact, I'm headed there now. Right after we finish, I had the honor of having a school named after me. So it's
Yeah.
Shelley Berkley Elementary School. I spend a lot of time in that elementary school and others. It's a wonderful school. It's a beautiful school and very well run. Good principal, good teachers, but we need to ensure that every school is run like Berkley Elementary School.
Yeah,
And
so
right now,
important.
again, you're absolutely right. A serious teacher shortage. And how are we going to solve that? Well, how about pay them? I mean, that would be helpful. I mean,
What do you mean pay them?
I know. The salaries now. The legislature did a wonderful job last session. We had a lot of federal money coming in. There were salary increases for our teachers.
Yeah.
But if you make, we also have to worry about not only hiring new teachers, but keeping the ones that are already practicing. And if they have a love of teaching, or you wouldn't be in the profession.
Right.
But eventually you have to put your family's needs above everything else. And if you could be making more money working in the casino, if you could be making more money as a realtor, you're going to start thinking, why am I doing this?
There's no doubt about it. Listen, I graduated college somehow, some way. I have a teaching credential in adult ed. I even thought about throwing my hat in the ring.
That would be wonderful. And there aren't enough male teachers, so that would be terrific.
So we got to do what we got to do, because it's so important, not only for the parents but for the kids, because like you say, they're our future. And
Dennis, what about this? I mean, if we keep talking about diversifying our economy, what major businesses are going to come here if we have inadequate education system? I mean,
Great point.
that's what they look for.
Great point.
Yep, we need to.
Great point.
And it all starts with improving our
Yeah.
education system.
That is a great
And
point.
healthcare system as well.
And healthcare, extremely important. Now, I know that you mentioned in one of several debates that this young lady has done, I'm calling her the diva of debates, that you mentioned that one of the things you'd like to see here get going, kind of develop the arts more.
Yes, yes.
Now, are you talking about this kind of art? 'Cause I'll be glad to give this to you.
You know what?
To get on the wall for the ribbon cutting.
I'm going to put that in my office if you'll let me have it, because that's about the level of art that I am capable of doing. That's very funny, very funny.
I think it would be great if
I do
we could
too.
get an art museum. Oh my God.
So great. I'm excited
Oh.
about that. And turning downtown Las Vegas into the arts capital of Southern Nevada. So when people are on the
that'd be
strip,
awesome.
I mean, long weekends, people come here for long weekends.
Yeah.
One of the nights they come down, they leave the strip, they come to downtown Las Vegas, and they enjoy fabulous food. They enjoy our art. They enjoy the Smith Center, which to me is one of the crown jewels
Yeah,
of
don't
downtown
get better
Las
than
Vegas.
that.
I walk into the Smith Center. We've got season tickets, for the Broadway series. It takes my breath away. I said, "Oh my gosh, look what is happening in my
Yeah, great
hometown.
shows. I
We
know.
need more of that."
Yeah, we do need more of that. That's great. All right. Give everybody your email address, please, and please go to Shelley's email. She'll have some of her positions on there. Always looking for donations, because like I keep saying, you need money to run a campaign. I don't care if you're
do.
running for the post office. You need some money. You need volunteers. There's a chance for you to do that. Give me
We'd
your
love
email
it.
address.
It's www.Berkley, the number 4 mayor.com. So
Yeah.
it's www.Berkley, number 4 mayor.com, and you could sign up to volunteer. You could sign up to, and you could read my positions, all of them. The good website, and you could also donate to the campaign.
Right.
And Dennis, you're right. It does take money to run a campaign, but after doing this for over a year and a half, these campaigns are too long and they're too expensive. But you do it because you want to win.
You wanna win.
But oh my gosh, this has been a very lengthy process.
Yeah, that's what campaigns.
And can I echo what you said and
Of course.
encourage people, please get out to vote. This is a very pivotal and important election for our country. I hope you're going to go out. One of the things we have as Americans is the right to determine who our leaders are.
Right.
Again, you may not agree with every single position, but find somebody that you do agree with,
Yeah.
that you trust, that their character is good, and that you would be willing to support. Don't let this opportunity go by, and don't complain to the mayor's office if you didn't vote, because if you don't vote, you don't count.
That's exactly right. Find somebody you're comfortable with. That you say, okay, I'm going to be comfortable with this person. I trust your judgment, and so on and so forth. Very, very important. All right, so what's on tap for you? I know it's down to the wire. I know you're campaigning, but anything other than that going on?
No, nothing else in my life.
Okay.
This is what we do 24/7, especially now that we are in the last month, and
Right.
early voting starts, my God, in 10 days.
10 days.
And so
Yeah.
I will vote early. Mail-in ballots are going out later this week, so you have many options in the state of Nevada. You could vote by mail. You could vote early for the 2 weeks before Election Day. And if you haven't, exercise one of those options. And some people just love voting on Election Day.
Yes.
So I would say, I would estimate that about half of the eligible voters will vote either by mail or early. I'm one of those. I like early voting. And then about another 50% are going to vote on November 5th.
Right.
Either way, don't let this opportunity
Yeah.
slip by.
Don't lose your ballot. Get it marked out. Take it down and do your thing. All right. All right. That's going to do it.
Thank you, Dennis.
Great
Pleasure
to see
as
you
always.
again.
Thank
You're
you.
looking fantastic. And don't forget, you got to get out and vote and do your homework. Be prudent, and hopefully you will make the right choice. So no more debates for a while.
No more debates, period. Nobody else has debated. I give Victoria, my opponent, credit. I mean, we both show up. We've done
Yeah.
eight different debates,
yeah.
all sorts of venues.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on TV, we're not on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. No one else is debating. And so no
That's That's
wonder they
true.
keep asking us, because we keep saying yes.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I think
Nobody else is
I
debating.
think it's
You're right.
very important. I think it's important to do, let people see you,
course.
feel you, get to know you, and I think the debates help to do that. Although, after having said that, I'm awfully glad we're done debating.
Yeah,
This is
no,
it.
I know. Now when you're driving down the streets or all over town and you see Shelley's campaign signs, oh, okay, I just saw her.
Right, exactly.
Now I know who she
Yes,
is, okay?
yes.
Rather than this picture on there, so you get to know
Although
these
it was
people.
that's a great picture and a very good hair day. So, my camp, and it was a girlfriend of mine who took the photo, and I looked at it. I said, "Oh my gosh, this is
very
a
good
great
photo. Very
and
good
so
photo.
that's the one we're using. Audrey Dempsey is her name.
Yeah,
but
very good photo.
she made me famous.
Yeah, and keep the damn mustaches. Okay, off of those posters. That's for everybody. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Pick Your Politics. For Shelley, I'm Dennis Silvers, and we're going to see you back next time. So until then, so long, everybody.